THORNEWS is for winners, and that's why you're here. So stick around. Hit the button, baby. Wave after wave after wave. The Euro brings landfall at about 2 p.m. on Thursday, which gives us 6 days to prepare. We bring 124 mile per hour winds and a potential for over 30-foot waves. They both seem to be in agreement on landfall time. GFS would bring it north with about 95 mile per hour winds. Still heavy wave potential. The GFS has a tight and nasty rain core. The Euro has a smaller rain core, but a higher winds.
Keep the rain gear around.
Keep your eyes to the sky.
I don't want to see another hurricane.
First responders rushing to save folks at Chalk Bluff Park. Flooding stranded 27 people along the Nueces River, including a family of 5 that had to be rescued from a tree.
What we heard from the mom and dad is that they got a call early this morning about the river rising almost immediately. So they called 911. Apparently they were told to go to higher grounds or climb up a tree, and I understand that that's what they did.
It's the quiet before the storm here along Monona Lake in Madison, Wisconsin.
Some of the streets have had some flooding in the last 2 weeks, and we just want to get the message out to people to stay off the streets if there's any chance of any more rain.
Normally the water near the lake is several feet back. As you can see from the dock behind me, the lake is swollen, and it has many people around here concerned.
Heavy rain has caused flooding here over the past few weeks. The lake is overflowing, getting dangerously close to the streets. And now another storm is inching closer.
Cleanup is underway for much of the Gulf Coast after Tropical Storm Gordon swept through the area. Gordon made landfall with winds up to 70 miles per hour, leaving large piles of sand washed ashore.
You can see the movement of the sand off the beach from the wave action last night was extensive, coming up and over this road.
Floodwaters continue to linger in the storm's aftermath.
And it's not done yet. It's going to move up into parts of the plains in the Midwest, and these are spots that have had so much rain over the last week and a half or so. And the problem is the ground is really soaked there. It can't take much more rain.
Manhattan, Kansas, cleaning up after being pounded by more than 9 inches of rain Monday in what's being called a 500-year event.
First flooding and now disease as Indian hospitals in Kerala treat rising numbers of sick patients. Health authorities blame people for failing to seek treatment for the spread of the illness. Health authorities blame people for failing to seek treatment for the spread of the illness. The waters pushed more than 1 million people from their homes when they were at their highest last month, killing nearly 500 people. In the wake of the southern state's worst monsoon flooding in a century.
The Baraboo River pouring through the city. Even the local electric company couldn't escape flooding and had to shut down.
There's been a 6.6 magnitude earthquake that's hit northern Japan, and it hit near a major city. And there have been reports of widespread blackouts, and cell service has also been affected. Japan, as you may know, was also just impacted by Typhoon Jebi.
Typhoon Jebi has claimed at least 8 lives in Japan. The storm slammed into Honshu Tuesday, bringing wicked wind and waves. More than 1.5 million households were in the dark. That was after the typhoon blew through. A bridge to the main airport was damaged, leaving thousands of passengers stranded there, all of them going nowhere fast after a flooded runway forced the airport to close. The storm disrupted service on the high-speed bullet train that goes from Tokyo to Hiroshima.
Close to 6.5 inches of rainfall yesterday in Pensacola, Florida. A lot of flooding along the Gulf, and this is all due to Tropical Storm Gordon and now the remnants thereof, which we are going to see for days to come. So this isn't just confined to the Gulf. Now all this energy is pushing up to the north. It's going to combine with a cold front, and that means days of rain in the forecast. So this stretches up from the Tennessee Valley. It will push to the eastern Great Lakes, and eventually by the end of the weekend to the northeast. So everybody is going to get a little bit of a hit from the remnants of Gordon, and we'll see widespread 3 to 5 inches of rain with this system. The heaviest rain is expected from Arkansas into Indiana.
The raging and rising Baraboo River continues to close many roads like this one here in Reedsburg.
Speaking of unsettled, we get some of the moisture from Gordon as we head into Saturday and Sunday here into the Midwest, and some of this rain will be locally heavy. So here too, we'll have to watch out for some flash flooding and also some additional travel delays.
September is here, but we have been sweating it out. It's been downright hot, and we had record highs today. Wednesday took us to 95 degrees in Philadelphia, Harrisburg 94, same story into Lehigh County, Pennsylvania. Into Erie, PA, 93 degrees was a record high, Burlington, Vermont, Albany, New York.
Gordon, for sure, has been a rainmaker here in the southeast. You can see some of the rainfall totals since Tuesday, getting close to 11.5 inches of rain there, and we are going to see additional rain as we head closer to the weekend.
This aerial footage of Riley County, shot by local police, shows the extent of the flood damage.
So you can expect some travel delays here along Interstates 20, 30, also I-44.
A lot of action going on in the Atlantic, but the biggest story is Hurricane Florence.
Here's a look at the official track.
So let's talk about it. There's the current forecast track, and I know that this is one that raises hairs on the back of your neck when you see Category 4 on what looks to be a beeline to the west toward the coast.
You've got to watch really closely for the east coast of the United States, from, anywhere from the southeast coast all the way up to the northeast coast. I mean, we really don't know exactly where it's going to go right now.
This high ridge, this ridge of high pressure sitting to the north is what's driving this system west. It's really strong. It's stronger than we're accustomed to seeing in that part of the Atlantic, and that's what's driving it. This is one forecast model with wave heights here. So
that Azores high, super strong high pressure she's talking about, is the reason that my forecast on Florence has been extremely accurate, because that super strong Azores high has been super strong all year. When the models predicted that it would weaken, I said, bullshit. It hasn't weakened all year. I don't know why it's going to start weakening now. And hey, guess what? It didn't weaken, and my forecast was correct. And now it looks like Hurricane Florence is most definitely going to hit the East Coast. The reason I think it is possible this could be the worst disaster in American history is because the East Coast is soaked. They got rain all summer. So from Florida up to Nova Scotia, the river levels are high, the lakes are high, the soil is soaked. We are wet from the Great Lakes all the way out east. We're going to take a quick look at the Euro and GFS track on windy. And once again, I highly recommend Cranky Weather Guy. He has a daily blog that is fantastic. And though Twitter is a cesspool echo chamber, it is fantastic for up-to-the-minute weather updates. And the weather Twitter team works together in high-pressure situations better than anyone out there other than probably the military. But the Euro has been taking it souther, bringing danger to South Carolina, North Carolina. The models have it always continuing to hook north after it hits. They've been consistent with that. Now look at the GFS. The models will change. The situation will change. And there's no area that can handle 40-foot waves. This has it hitting North Carolina and Virginia. European. I recommend you have a plan and you prepare. And if somehow this thing is a Category 4 or Category 5 hurricane, you be prepared to go west, young man. We've still got about a week to cover this, and I'm here for you. My scheduled idea is to have my edited videos like this up at 3 p.m. every day, and then hopefully I'll be going live around somewhere between 7 or 10. I'll let you guys know every day from here to Florence. We've got a whole lot of action in the Atlantic, more than I've ever seen. And so it is go time, people, and it is time to think outside of the box. And I highly recommend everybody take a break from politics for a week. Now is the time to obsess about weather, infrastructure, and how we as Americans can work together to adapt to these earth weather changes that are coming at us fast and furiously. The September 8th 0Z models will be out about 11 p.m. Texas time. So I will be doing a rundown on Florence, her track, and the possibilities later tonight. And then tomorrow's 3 o'clock video will cover Florence and then all the situations going on. And then I'm going to do a video on Olivia because Olivia may hit Hawaii. It's going to be one heck of a month. But I highly recommend if you're on the East Coast, go buy hurricane supplies at the very minimum now. Go get water, go get beans, flashlights, batteries, wine, whiskey. You guys are always here for me, so I'm going to be here for you. We are all in this together. And remember, the waters are abnormally hot, the soil is saturated, and the path is unknown. Asteroid Fight Club in full effect. Let's not get wrecked. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Have a plan. Think outside the box. Stay cool. And work in large groups in your community. I am your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7. I am awesome, and you are too. Everybody stay cool. Peace out. I'll keep you guys posted.
So here we go again.
If it's happening in a galaxy, then Thor is all over it. Hurricane, solar flares, Planet X. How humanity's gonna destroy itself at each other's necks. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. No, I don't know if you know this. THORNEWS is the winners, baby. THORNEWS is the button, baby. THORNEWS is the winners, baby. THORNEWS is the button, baby.
Stay cool.